monetization, ad monetization for apps. So just what you learn for AdSense, the equivalent, the counterpart on apps is called ad mod. But since there has been a lot of information overload already, so I'll start with a lighter note, and I'll start with more general overview of apps and how the app industry is growing. Some of those things you understand and experience in your personal lives, in your everyday life, but overall from statistic perspective, कि world में क्या हो रहा है, कितनी बड़ी opportunity. तो जी इस वक्त हमारे पास there are more phones than people. Right now there are 7.4 billion mobile phone connections, and almost all there is more growth on the smartphone than feature phones, conceivably, and that's because a lot of smartphones are becoming cheaper and affordable, and so that's why emerging markets, where most of the populations live, like China and India, most people are transitioning towards smartphones. If you look at the APAC region where we are all living, there are more people in this bubble than outside of it. And that's why India, China, all of these markets are growing at a very rapid rate. In fact, India is forecasted to outgrow US in terms of the total smartphone penetration. Now, what does that mean for developers like you or potential developers? That's a huge opportunity that you can tap into. You can create use cases for them. And so, for APAC, right now, 4.3 million publishers are available, developers are available who are developing apps. There are 1 million new apps last year alone on Play Store, and combined from Play Store and App Store, we have 3 million new total apps. The time spent in apps is also increasing a lot. And this is something that you experience in your daily life. हम ईद पे जाते हैं, सबसे पहले आप वाईफाई पासवर्ड पूछते हैं किसी से, उसके बाद फिर हम जो है ना बाकी. So this is how apps consume a lot of time out of our daily lives, and this time is further growing. However, important for you, because from publishing side, this graph, I'll take just a moment to explain this. If you look at this, the user engagement is growing in totality. But 26.5, 26.8, 26.7, that's the average number of apps on the horizontal scale. So that remains the constant. And this is a very important point, that you have a limited wallet of user attention that you can capitalize through your apps. So as users are kind of spending more time on smartphone, that doesn't mean that they are gonna try every new app. They will be only interested in apps which actually create value for them. And so that's an important element. Another fun fact, what kind of apps get downloaded first within the first week of new smartphone? So games are predominantly the most popular genre. Then we have messaging, then we have sports, entertainment, and towards these things. So this is just something that you can probably think about. Now, what makes आपने सोचा ठीक है जी apps world is very interesting. I use apps, so why not I develop an app? But what are the things that make my product successful? And I can't emphasize this enough, that there are few things that you should keep in mind, which again contribute to user engagement. This is a primary factor. So, सबसे पहले, if I talk about the thing, that's like your app has to have features that people love and find it useful. So, आप देखें, for example, there are complex apps like Spotify. They secure content from artists, they host that content on servers, they then manage subscriptions, authentication, right? Then they make playlists based on moods and everything. And it's a very complex app, right? On the other hand, there's Angry Bird. How many of you have played Angry Bird? Everyone, right? It's a very simple app. What's common in these two apps. Those are on a very different spectrum end of the complexity of app. They're sticky, right? They are addictive. They make the user come back. So that's the most important thing. Whenever you are developing a product, conceptualizing it, making an app, ask yourself, am I or my friends or my family members, are they going to try to use it again? Because that's the first toothbrush test. The other thing that I want to focus is the design. So look and feel of the app is very important. We as engineers, I खुद भी engineer रहा हूँ, we try to kind of push as many technical features within an app as possible just to make it the most amazing app, because that's how engineers think, right? But think from the consumer perspective. Consumers are interested in simplicity, in design, in beautiful animations and everything. So look and feel of the app is very important. And the other element of user experience is that it has to be functional. तो मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूंगा उबर की. उबर और यूट्यूब दोनों को देखें. उबर का मकसद क्या है? To take you from point A to point B. So when you open that app, it doesn't show you anything else other than the map. It shows you pick me the location, and then Uber go, and off you go. That's it. उसके पीछे क्या हो रहा है? बड़ा complex model है. There is a supply chain of drivers and everything. Doesn't bother you anything. They don't. You can change the credit card. अगर आप वो menus left देखें और सारा कुछ. But that's not visible because most of the people don't need that kind of information cluttering their user space at one point in time. दूसरी तरफ YouTube देखें. YouTube का मकसद क्या है? Infotainment. You have free time or you want to search something, you go there and so there's a search bar. You can type in. Then there's a recommended list. कि जी ये आप videos देखें. Then there is something channels. अगर आपने मज़ीद, as long as you have time to use YouTube would keep on pushing content, relevant content, make you engaged, keep you in the app. So the whole point is to keeping you within app. And the user experience and the interface is designed such that it serves the purpose. So that's very important. The third thing is the reliability and performance. Something that Bakas also mentioned for websites. For apps is also true, but also even more important. So apps that consume a lot of data, that they take a lot of storage on your mobile phone, that are not efficient. So as a developer, if you can make the storage and be mindful of the bandwidth constraints and the storage constraints of the user, then that's very, very useful. Especially in our kind of world. I come from telco background. मुझे पता है कि अगर आप bundle के बगैर data use करते हैं, तो recharge खत्म हो जाता है. So that's the element. अगर आप bill shock देंगे, यूजर ने डेटा बंडल एक्टिवेट नहीं किया, आपकी ऐप यूज करेगा, वो टेलको को भी कुछ कहेगा और आपको भी बुरा भला कहेगा. So that's why it's important to understand that it should be reliable and efficient. Then latest Android features, I'll discuss them from an analytical perspective. If you are, and this is a bit technical, but I'll just push it through. अगर news app है तो app indexing is something that if you integrate that kind of a plugin inside your app, what will happen is कि somebody if he searches for that particular news snippet, तो वो app जो है mobile phone पे पहले show होगी. Okay, so this is an example. मैं आपको दिखाना चाह रहा था कि which is a partner that this is Muslim Pro, very famous app used by Muslims around the world, and आप देखें कि इसका कंटेंट सारा जो है उन्होंने उसको प्रॉपर तरीके से डिफरेंट स्निपेट्स में एक्सप्लेन किया है. मेन्यू इज वेरी क्लियर. तो आपने आपकी प्रेयर्स क्या, अगेन सिंपल थिंग, इट्स नॉट रॉकेट साइंस, इट्स नॉट लाइक दे आर इन्वेंटिंग समथिंग, इट्स जस्ट दैट they are putting and placing it in a more organized manner and making it more usable for the users. So let's see the prayers that so this prayer calendar, if you look at it, it's very neat, clean, and there is a graphic that adds to the functionality and the statics of the app. This is the most interesting element that I found, the tasbih. So they introduced this virtual tasbih, and so you can swipe it like this, and or then how they are monetizing it. So they are monetizing it through ads. This is the banner ad that you see down, and then they are also monetizing through in-app purchases. So just like आप बाजार में जाते हैं, इतवार बाजार में आप different color की तस्वीर लेती हैं, और वो different color की तस्वीर आपको different rate पे मिलती है. So इसी तरह ये जो दाने हैं जो आप देख रहे हैं नीचे, that's the color of तस्वीर दाने. So everything, it comes all down to your own ingenuity, simple things that your parents have been using for a lot of time. How do you replicate those experiences in an app? That's as simple as that. Anything, any use cases could be replicated in an app. Now we move to the most important element if you have developed an app, is to understand what's going on inside an app. How do you know that? So आप एक रेस्टोरेंट ओपन करते हैं, अगर एक बंदा 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ लगाता है और उसके बाद रेस्टोरेंट ओपन करता है, उसके बाद वो कभी शो नहीं करता रेस्टोरेंट पे कि हो क्या रहा है, या मैनेजर नहीं रखता कि क्या देखे कि कस्टमर जब आया है तो उसको किस तरह he has been ushered in, whether he has been offered a seat, what has he been able to understand the menu, how long was the wait time between the time he ordered the food and he got the food, did he find food tasty, उसके बाद क्या रेटिंग दी. अगर वो ये सब कुछ नहीं देखता तो उसे कैसे पता लगेगा कि कैसा मेरा रेस्टोरेंट कैसा चल रहा है, and probably that will fail, right? So similarly in app case, you need to understand that analytics is very important, and you need to measure performance of our user from the time he enters into an app to the time he leaves an app. Unfortunately, only 21% of developers worldwide use any type of analytical software. So this is something that I want to encourage you to use it, and with AdMob, which I'll discuss, is that you can completely use analytical software, you can use monetization software in one piece. So you don't have to do anything else, you just put in plug there, your analytical dashboard pops up, and your ads start showing up in your app. This is an example जो मैं आपको शो करना चाहता था for analytics. तो ये एक गेमिंग पब्लिशर था जिसके साथ हम काम कर रहे थे. उनके पहले लेवल को 76% ने कंप्लीट किया, और उसके बाद सेकंड लेवल को 50% ने कंप्लीट किया, और उसके बाद only 10% replayed the game. So with analytical insight, they came to the conclusion that if they make this level 2 easier, that would overall improve the user retention in the game. So this is the power of analytics, that it helps you understand what's going on. You could make guesses कि यार पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है, क्यों users जा रहे हैं, क्यों users आ रहे हैं, but you'll be able to understand this better if you are using analytics. So Firebase, which is integrated inside AdMob, is single most important right now platform which is being used, and you can just plug it inside your APK and it will pop up a dashboard and you can see that. Not only that, it also allows you to run experiments. आप छोटे-छोटे experiments run करके you can try to understand what's going on, whether you want to change the color of the screen, how would it affect the users, how would it improve the user retention, all of these things you can do. Now, so this is hill climb racing. Anybody who has played this game? So this is a story of hill climb racing. They are our partner as well.